Hello, and welcome to the Waymaker Forum. I'm your host, Marty Coates. In a time in our country and around the world where so many seem to have lost hope and inspiration, we here at the Waymaker Learning Corporation hope to change that. We've designed this new online video program to expose you to people from around the world who are making a difference on a daily basis. We call them the Waymakers. Waymakers, by definition, are game changers. They're dream makers. They're world changers and they're kingdom builders. They make a difference in the lives and communities where they live and serve. We traveled recently to Washington, D.C. to capture video of 3 such Waymakers. So inspired by our trip, we deemed this inaugural edition of the Waymaker Forum as the Waymaker Forum, the Washington edition. And we filmed now 3 series, and we'll show those as volume 1, 2, and 3. In our debut, we introduce you to Billy Threadgill. Consistent and humble are the words that describe the way he lives and the way he works. But probably the best principle describing Billy Threadgill is that he lives to serve others before being served. Let's go now and meet Billy Threadgill. Washington, D.C. is a city where folks come from all over the world to impact the lives of other people. Here in this city, decisions are made that literally change the world. We're excited to have on our program today one such person who does that every day. Author, business person, and my friend, Billy Threadgill. Welcome to the program, Billy.
Thank you, Marty, and thank you for the opportunity to get together and talk with you and just tell my story.
Well, Billy, that's an interesting start this morning. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the business that you're in.
Well, honestly, at 7 years old, I got an opportunity to go to work with my dad at Horn Ford in Florence, South Carolina. Before that, I worked with my grandfather in the fields, and I was a farmer's grandson. So after that opportunity, I went to work at Horn Ford, making $40 a week. They paid me out of the petty cash box, and I worked 5.5 days a week. So I learned how to sweep floors. I learned how to sweep the display lot. I learned how to clean cigarette trays, wash cars, and from there it led from me going into work. As I got older, I got to go in the parts department. From there, I actually worked some as a mechanic's assistant, and from there a little bit in the body shop, and eventually, as going through school, I went to Francis Marion, attended Francis Marion after graduating from high school. When I was in Francis Marion, my dad decided to leave Ford Place and open up our own dealership. So in March of '75, we opened Vans Auto Sales. It was at that point in time that I was in college, and my mom and dad were watching me, and once I took an interest in the business and they knew I wanted to stay in it, because at that time I was very much involved in the mechanical aspect. I built my own drag cars for years and thoroughly enjoyed that, and was very much a hot rod enthusiast. And along with that, learning what the industry could do, I saw that it could support my family. We now have been in business for 40 plus years. I am a certified master dealer through NIEDA, which is an educational standard that I would recommend anybody to attain. I own a small finance company. We are a U-Save Auto Rental franchisee. We rent cars and have been doing that for 38 years.
Well, now, Billy, you don't do all this by yourself. It's a family business.
It's a family business. My dad's still there. He's 87 years old, still comes to work every day. And then I have both my sons that help me. Michael especially, he's there full-time and third generation business. He's a young man, 35 years old, and I just treasure what he does, because I couldn't do what I get to do today without him and my dad being at the office. And then we have a small staff. So we have a person that runs the rental business. So it's with a good staff that I can do what I do, and that we've been able to do what we do. And I also own a small transit company that we provide transportation for federal employees to and from work.
Sounds like you're involved in every day, your businesses with the lives of people.
Yes.
What's your passion? What drives you in business?
I like to say I do it with integrity. It is about making a point in people's lives and being able to do for people. It is a service that we provide that provides value and fills a need in people's lives. It is about the integrity of the way we do it. Honestly, we have a good referral list of customers after 40 years, so that helps a lot. We still try to generate new sales, but there again, it's the integrity. We do little or no advertising. It is basically on customer referrals that we run our businesses.
Right. Well, Billy, one of the things that I know about your business, you don't just work at the dealership. You do a lot of work away from the dealership. You're involved in church and some other things. Tell me briefly a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, I work at our church. I actually help with a bus ministry there. I get up every Sunday morning about 6 o'clock, and we go pick up about 10 to 12 elderly people who could not make it to church if we didn't do that. Along with doing that, I work in our Sunday school. I'm also involved in our state association and national association, and basically have performed all the duties at the state level, come all the way through the chairs, as my dad did also. He's a past president of the Carolinas Independent Automobile Dealers Association, just like I have been a past president. We both have made the state quality dealer, which is a high achievement that you make as being nominated the dealers from your peers.
And Billy, I want to take a break right here, but when we come back, I want to talk more about your role as president this year of the National Independent Automobile Dealers Association and why you're really here in Washington this week. So when we come back, we'll talk more with Billy when we come back after this break.
Hang on, because in the next 2 minutes, you'll learn how you can stop giving away customers to insurance and warranty companies and keep 100% of the underwriting profits through your own reinsurance company. And that's without any additional work or overhead. Franchise dealers have been profiting from reinsurance for over 30 years already. Here at Dealer Re, we help independent dealers do the same. That means every time you provide a warranty, require insurance, or sell a service contract or gap, you can make money. The potential is unbelievable. We know because we've been setting up dealers exactly like you for many years and continue to do so every day. It's not uncommon for a small to mid-sized independent dealer using our program to realize several thousand, if not tens of thousands of dollars a month that they were leaving on the table before. In fact, it's a lot easier than you'd think because we do everything for you, from setup to ongoing coaching. When we set up your reinsurance company, you also get amazing customer service advantages that will attract customers and keep them coming back to your dealership. First, you can attract buyers with a true warranty on the buyer's guide. No more as is, and you have full control over terms, features, prices, and claims. Second, you can provide your customers the opportunity to purchase a vehicle service contract. Right now, you probably send between $600 to $1,000 per contract to your third-party warranty company, say around $8,000 per month or $100,000 per year. If the third-party warranty company paid $40,000 in claims, that would equal a 40% loss ratio and a $60,000 underwriting profit. Unfortunately for you, your loss ratio is 100%, sometimes more if you pay denied claims out of pocket. Why? Because it is their underwriting profit. There is a better way. Setting up a reinsurance company allows you to put that underwriting profit in your pocket, not the third-party warranty company's. If you're a buy here, pay here dealer, your reinsurance company can provide premium finance, which allows you to collect the premium on a monthly basis from the customers instead of having to pay it all up front. A much needed relief for your lending pool. Third, if you're a buy here, pay here, you can provide debt cancellation coverage, which cancels your customer's loan balance if they total their car. Since your collateral is covered, you don't have to worry about chasing down uninsured customers. By buying economical DCC from you, they no longer need expensive full coverage, which can mean an absolute fortune for you. And fourth, you can capture your share of the growing CPO market with your own world-class certified program, not to mention major tax benefits you could get from having your own reinsurance company. Reinsurance, it's what smart dealers do.
And now we're back with Billy Threadgill, National President of the National Independent Automobile Dealers Association. Billy, when we left just before the break, we were talking about your progression through the family business. But you did mention just before we left that you were involved in the NIADA and the CIADA across the years, and this year you're serving as National President. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the National Independent Automobile Dealers Association was formed in 1946. It is a 70-plus-year-old institution that basically represents independent car dealers. There are some 36,000 independent dealers that I'm aware of in the United States of America. And we represent about 16 to 18,000 members of those dealers. It was formed as far as part of the government was trying to enforce price controls on independent dealers after the war or during the war. So that's why it was formed in 1946.
And today we're in Washington, and you're going to be here for the next couple of days with folks from all over the country who are dealers and members of NIADA. And what's the focus of your trip here this week?
Well, the focus of our trip here this week, we've got probably 200 constituents from all over the United States that have come here to meet with the Department of Justice, the Consumer Protection Finance Bureau, the Federal Trade Commission. We also come in to meet with our federal senators and our federal representatives so that we can lobby and express the interests and desires that we have, let them know the needs that we do and that we have and what we need to see done through regulatory and through their place in the government.
Now, are there any particular issues that the NIADA is concerned about that will be a particular discussion this week?
Yes, we got many, but I will mention two specifically. And one is through the Consumer Protection Finance Bureau. There's been a lot of regulatory things come down through the line that have been detrimental and hurt some dealers in our industry. The other thing is we're really facing a huge recall right now with cars going on in the industry, and they won't determine if it's a safety recall or a non-safety recall, whether the car is sellable or not sellable. So we've got several things like that, but those recall issues right now are one of the paramount things that we're looking at dealing with, because we don't know if we can sell a car, how we need to sell it. Basically, our policy is, and from an NIADA standpoint, is if there's a recall, you represent it to the consumer. We try to get it fixed if the remedy is available, but if not, we do disclose it to the customer and let them know that. And we try to let them know it's a safety recall, because the recall is the responsibility of the manufacturer, it's not the responsibility of the dealer.
Right, right. Now, Billy, let me go back to something that I implied when I introduced you earlier today. I implied that you were an author. So I know sometime back you participated in the writing and publishing of a book, Race to the Finish Line, I think the title is. And
Yes, sir.
I co-authored a chapter with you in that book. Why would you take time out of your schedule and your business to write a book?
Marty, I think the challenge of being able to do it was one thing. The time it took me to go in and really discern and develop what I wanted to say was a challenge to me, but it was a challenge I took, because I think people really need to understand what they're doing in their industry. One of the things I pride myself on is buying and selling cars. I try to do the best job I can for my consumer, and that's what I wanted to relay in that book. So that's why I wrote specifically, mostly on what to do, on the good ways, how to buy and sell a used car, as far as from a dealer standpoint.
With the focus being helping new dealers getting into the business.
Absolutely.
So they would have the knowledge of your 40 years in the business.
Absolutely.
Well, Billy, as always, it's a pleasure to have you. We're especially excited to have you here in Washington this week, and for the inaugural launch of the Waymaker Forum, the Washington edition. Thanks for being on our program, my friend. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. And without your leadership and guidance, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Well, you're kind to say that. We look forward to doing this again.
Thank you.
The life of Billy Threadgill should inspire all of us to do more in the lives of our friends, families, in the community and world where we live. Billy, thank you for taking time to share your story with us. On behalf of the folks here at the Waymaker Forum, the Washington edition, we thank you for tuning in to this, our debut edition. We also want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Dealer Reinsurance, and Tim Bird and Tim Bird Associates for underwriting, in part, today's program. We look forward to seeing you again next week. And remember to like us on Facebook and look forward to following us as we produce also a quarterly online video magazine entitled The Waymaker Forum. We look forward to seeing you soon. And until next time, I'm Marty Coates.